Engineers at the firm that built the building's best guess to account for the missing 1,200 feet of material from each tower is that large portions simply vaporized into the dust that rained down on New Yorkers immediately after the collapse. We're talking here about 43,600 windows, 600,000 square feet of glass, 200,000 tons of structural steel, 5 million square feet of gypsum, 6 acres of marble, and 425,000 cubic yards of concrete, turned in good part into a cloud, says environmental medical doctor Stephen Levin.
I was astonished at the degree to which solid materials were turned into pulverized dust as a consequence of that building collapse. I think it was striking.
We look at these areas down below and the video of where the towers used to stand and where is all the rubble gone. And have you been able to, is there any way you can answer that question?
I'm sorry, Peter, I didn't get the question.
Okay, I apologize. Jackie Judd and several other people keep asking us, when you look at where the towers used to stand, there is surprisingly so little rubble. Where did all the rubble go?
A computer screen, a laptop, there's no office. I mean, it was, 210-story buildings of office equipment. It's beyond comprehension.
Is there one artifact that stands out for any particular reason for you?
I think the lack of artifacts stands out to me quite a bit. I think the fact that I haven't seen a door, I haven't seen a phone, I haven't seen a computer, I haven't seen a doorknob. I think that stands out.
You have 210-story office buildings. You don't find a desk. You don't find a chair. You don't find a telephone, a computer. The biggest piece of a telephone I found was half of the keypad, and it was about this big. The building collapsed to dust.
So I go to work, get in there, come up the big escalators and path, get into the lobby there, granite lobby, One World Trade.
And everything is functioning normally.
Everything's functional, it's all great. I got into the elevator and I hit 64, which is the floor. I went up to 61 as an express from 44. And then it was 61, 62, 3, and then so I hit 64. All of a sudden, the elevator just shook violently. The lights flickered a few seconds. It stopped. We were like, what the hell just happened? It kind of, I guess, reset, and then it came back down to 44. So the elevator went down.
Great.
Elevator door opens. There's complete mayhem. People screaming. You see, you can't even tell which way they're running. There was smoke on the floor, heavy smoke. You can even see across the lobby to the second set, to the other elevators. It was hard to see, and people were just like screaming, running all over the place. Because I believe some of the elevators actually, the cables got severed. They dropped. They exploded when they hit. So different things were happening. We backed up into the elevator. And again, instinctively, I just wanted to get up off the floor. So I hit 64. I'm just praying that the thing doesn't stop.
What about that moment would make you want to go back up? You're a structural support guy.
Yeah, it's like here, right? Everything's lit, things are nice, there's no issues. At least on that floor. So I pick up the phone and I call my wife.
And I remember picking up the phone and he was on the other end and he said, Louise, don't be alarmed, but can you turn the television on? And I jumped up right away and I thought, oh, okay, sure, like what's going on, And he said, I don't know. He said, but something happened to my building, but can you turn the television on and let me know if you see anything? And I said, oh my God, it looks like the top of your building is on fire. And as I'm listening and kind of like watching and kind of taking it in, I said, they're saying a plane hit the building. It wasn't until the decision was made to leave, when Pat Hoey and I, we constantly were walking around the floor, like making assessments, we finally saw some smoke coming in. So as soon as that happened, we were like, let's get out of here. We gathered up where we had flashlights in case we encountered anything going down. People got some waters and stuff. And then we lined up single file, made the phone call, left that one open, and then proceeded out to the hallway to stairway B. When we decided with the floor with the smoke, Steve Ferrelli and I
who was one of the project managers at the time, he and I went out into the hallway, opened up the door, and the stairway was clear. There was like no smoke in the stairs. It was well lit. There was no one in it. So we reported back to everyone to say, listen, the stairways are clear. There's no one going up or down right now. There's no smoke. You know, we should get out of here. You know, and he and I even said to us, you know, what the hell are we still doing here? Now I called my wife a second time.
And he said, you know, we're still here. And I was so angry. I was like, why? Why are you still there?
We're making our way single file down the stairs. You know, not running down, not walking slow, just, you know, as quickly as you can go downstairs.
This is clock management now.
Yeah, this is probably maybe 10, 15 minutes or so, something like that, 10 minutes.
Got it.
So now we get into the stairs and we're going down. And it was fine until we got into like the 40s, and then we encountered some firemen with all their gear on. I'd say it was probably 6 of them, 6 or 7. They were sitting on the stairs, and I'm, you know, so we were stepping like around them, you know, which like, you know, and because they were exhausted. I mean, you just went up 40 flights of stairs with gear. We just continue, but now we haven't reached 23 yet. And now we continue going down the stairs, and then I see 23, right? And I remember that's what triggered it. I'm like, we could get off here, but we're not, right? No one's getting into an elevator at that point again. So, and again, we were all gonna go in or not. At this point, we formed this kind of like cohesive, yeah, we're all together. Went down one more flight, got to 22. I was halfway down the stairs, and the way it works, it was the landing, 22. You go down the stairs as a platform, you go down another set of stairs, and then another door to go to 21. So I'm here on just past 22, the door. I'm going halfway down the stairs, and then everything started to rumble. I remember looking back kind of quickly with everything shaking, and I saw Rosa and Janelle open the door because they were like screaming, and then the other people screaming. They opened the door to 22 and they tried to run onto the floor, right? Because now we're thinking something's falling through the stairs, something's rumbling down and stuff. I didn't have time to run up or run down, and just instead I looked back and I dove from basically the middle of the stairs. I just like took a couple of steps and I jumped and I landed on that intermittent platform landing, and I just put myself right into the corner, and I curled up and tried to make myself as small as possible in the corner there, thinking whatever's falling through, there was nothing to protect me other than the floor below me and the 2 walls that I can get into a corner on.
Enter fake news into Google. You get 1,330,000,000 hits in a paltry 0.41 seconds. Plenty to read about fake news. Here is Wikipedia's definition of fake news. It's also known as junk news or pseudo news. It's a type of yellow journalism or propaganda that consists of deliberate disinformation or hoaxes spread via traditional news media or online social media.
Pasquale's story is one of the most remarkable to emerge from September 11. He was in a stairwell when the entire North Tower collapsed, bringing with it more than 1 million tons of concrete and steel. Somehow, Pasquale survived, landing in the mountain of rubble below. Unconscious for 3 hours, he was finally rescued.
If we look at this picture, what I'm going to try and do is show you kind of what went down on 9/11. It kind of goes along with what I've been trying to show you, dealing with time and space. You look at this picture, it's interesting that this picture's set up to see the whole panoramic view. You got the towers, you got the bay. But the interesting thing is, if you look at the right side of the picture, see how it's darker blue than the left side? That's really interesting. If we cue in on this is a barge, I believe. It's full of gravel and sand and piles. But interestingly enough, if we look, what is their perfectly paced pyramid doing on here? That's not a pile of dust. That's not a pile of dirt. That's not concrete. That is a pyramid. A pyramid is a time cube. Remember I told you? If you look at a pyramid from the top, it makes an X box. That's what the pyramids are. They are time cubes. They have to do with time and space. Okay, that's exactly what the big ones represent. They represent the planet Saturn. So here we have a connection. First of all, we have the picture is goofy because it's darker on one side than the other. And now we have a pyramid sitting on a dock or on a barge of the morning of 9/11. Okay, this is interesting. This gets better, folks. Hang with me. So what is that thing doing there? Why is this thing, even if somebody photoshopped that in there, why would they? Okay, who set up the cameras to look right at the buildings? Okay, all of this goes together, and believe me, at the end, it even gets better than this. So let's go back to the original picture, and I'll do a time-lapse photo of what happened on 9/11, and you'll see, just like I did, what's going on here. Now I want you to make sure that you keep your eyes on the pyramid. You see it? It's on the dock in front of you, the lower left-hand corner. You see that pyramid? Keep your eyes on it, and I'll do it. I'm going to go ahead and do the time photo lapse here. You'll see the towers. They get hit. They come down. They turns into nighttime, but something very interesting happens. Okay, so let's watch that. So interesting, as you saw, as well as I did, the pyramid disappears, which means somebody had to come in there and physically remove that thing. And I said, even if that was photoshopped in, somebody had to go into the film and erase it. I don't believe it was photoshopped in, because when you see the next thing, all these three things are all gonna come together. This was all done on time and space manipulation. I keep trying to tell people that this is based off of time and space. They've been messing with it. That's what CERN is. That's why this picture is funky, where the screen is split. This thing stinks to high heaven. But I've been telling people this is why the buildings were pulverized, because it didn't happen on the third dimensional level that you think it did. I mean, I'm going to show you a picture here real quick from above, from a helicopter. Where's the debris? Where is it? It's all powder. So let's take a look at that real quick. Here, this is from an aircraft, probably a helicopter. Look at it. Obviously, this couldn't be in the cleanup stage. Look at how much smoke there is, how much debris is in the air. So this was from the day 1745. This is 5:45 in the afternoon. Okay. Look at it. Where's the stuff at? These are buildings. Huge buildings. Where's the debris? It's pulverized, because this is the same technology they used in the story about the walls of Jericho, where God told them to walk around and blow the horn 7 times. It's because it was done on sound and space and time manipulation. It pulverized the buildings. This is interesting. This is from the same video that whoever made it. If we look, what do we have here? We have an 8-sided object. That's not a Ferris wheel, folks. That's an 8-sided object. An octagon always in the occult represents a stargate or a gate, a passageway. Just like CERN. CERN, if you look at it, and I'll put a picture in, it has 8 sides. Interestingly enough, who's sitting right next to him? Oh, our little buddy, the black cube. So here we have time and space again, with a gate, with a stargate, or with a gateway. I don't like that word stargate because it's too industrial. It's a gate to something. All I know is the third dimensional evidence does not add up to third dimensional destruction. Planes don't disappear, bodies aren't found, steel is reduced to nothing, the concrete is completely dust. You know, if you really still think that this was done in a third dimension, well, then you believe everything the government tells you. This was done with very high physics.